Look again how the Prophet ﷺ used to deal with Aisha being that young. One day they were sitting together and the Prophet ﷺ said, you know Aisha, إني لأعلم رضاك عني من سخطك. Oh Aisha, I know when you are pleased with me and I know when you are not pleased with me. Look at the humbleness of the Prophet ﷺ. Look, does it matter like if Aisha is pleased with the Prophet ﷺ or not? In fact, what matters is the opposite way. If the Prophet ﷺ is pleased with her or not. He is the messenger of Allah. But look at the humbleness. He's saying to her, I know when you are pleased with me, when you are happy with me, and I know when you are not unhappy. She said, how Prophet of Allah. Even though she knows the answer. But look at this. She's young. And she wants the Prophet ﷺ to say this. Because this is going to be narrated to us and reported to us now as a hadith. So subhanallah, she said, the Prophet ﷺ said, إن كنت عني راضية تقولين لا ورب محمد وإن كنت علي غضبة تقولين لا ورب إبراهيم. That's amazing. He said, if you are pleased with me, you say no with the Lord of Muhammad. And if you are displeased with me, you say no with the Lord of Abraham. Subhanallah. Rabb Muhammad huwa Rabb Ibrahim. The Lord of Muhammad is the Lord of Abraham. But subhanAllah, when she's angry, she would avoid using the name of the Prophet ﷺ. She would say, no with the Lord of Ibrahim, not no with the Lord of Muhammad. And then she smiled and said, you know what, Prophet of Allah, Wallahi, I desert your name, but your love is in my heart. So when I'm angry, I don't say, La wa Rabbi Muhammad, but you know I love you. And I say, La wa Rabbi Ibrahim. Look at this, it's something very, very, private, but look at this. How the Prophet ﷺ cared about her emotions. Again, being young, the Abyssinians used to come to the mosque and they used to, to play, with the arrows and stuff. So the Prophet ﷺ, as Aisha narrated, she said, he used to stand and I would hide behind him and I would put my chin on his shoulder and I would be watching the Abyssinians playing in the masjid. And then, he would say, is that enough? And I would keep saying, no. Why? She wants to see how much the Prophet ﷺ would be patient and how much he would love her. Even though she said, it was more than enough to me. But I just wanted the Prophet ﷺ, again, to show me his love. Even in another narration, it said, not only she would put her, her chin on his shoulder, but she would put her cheek next to his cheek, while she's putting her chin on his shoulder, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and she'd be hiding behind him to watch the Abyssinian playing in the masjid. You see how the Prophet ﷺ, again, used to make sure that she would have fun and she would be happy. Even though the Prophet ﷺ was so busy as the leader of the Ummah, as the Prophet, as the warrior, as the diplomat, as the president of the country, you name it. He was a father, he was a grandfather, he has so many hats to wear. Even though he had time, all the time to have fun with all of his wives. Every time he used to go on a battle, he will cast the lots, and whoever the lots come on, she will be traveling with him. So it happened 2 times that Aisha radiallahu anha was the one traveling with him, and the Prophet ﷺ would ask the army to move forward, and he would race with her. So at the very beginning of their marriage, they raced, and Aisha won the race. So she was so happy. But then she said later on, one time the Prophet ﷺ kept feeding me, meat and lots of meat. And then while we were traveling, then we raced again. She said, I put some weight. And the Prophet ﷺ won the race. Even though he was older by that time, but he won the race. And then the Prophet ﷺ said, tat for tat. Like, هذه بتلك. 1 for 1.